Good morning. Welcome to Crazy for Keto. I'm Ray, and I just wanted to have a little chat with you this morning about how do you explain keto? What do you say when people ask? I'm at the point now where it's been a little over 30 pounds, and people are noticing. A few people have said they weren't going to say anything about it because they thought maybe I was sick, and that's why I'd lost all the weight so quickly. So when I say no, I've lost it through a diet plan, changing my lifestyle, then they're very interested. But I found that when I start to explain keto to them, their eyes start to glaze over. I can see the confusion. I can see that they're not quite comprehending what I'm saying. So, for the most part, they're interested, but then when you try to explain, they don't get it. They don't really understand what you're saying. So, I'm learning that I say a high fat, low carb diet, which immediately makes them wonder, what do you mean high fat? That doesn't sound very good. So I say that, but then I followed up by saying that it is a low carb diet. Most of my carbs come from veggies. So that they understand, veggies are healthy. Everybody's been taught that veggies are a good thing to eat. They're good for a diet. But it's the high fat that puzzles them. They don't understand how does that work. So I don't go into great detail about it unless they specifically ask and they're interested and they want to hear more. But when I see the eyes glazing over, I change the subject. I cut it off because a lot of people just don't get it. And that makes sense to me because honestly, when I started keto, I read about it, understood the principles of it, but I didn't really get it. I didn't understand quite how it all worked and why it worked and what it could do for your body. It wasn't until I was actually seeing and feeling the results of it that I started to understand. And the more I read, the more I understood. So I do get it. It's not surprising that most people aren't sure what's going on. So I have to explain that it is a low carb diet. I eat veggies. I don't even go into details of what kind of veggies or why, because again, that's going to make them a little puzzled because aren't all veggies good? And what about fruit? So I don't even talk about the fruit. I don't even explain that I pretty much don't eat any fruit. I don't go there. I say no starches, no flour, low carb. So they kind of get that. And of course, the next response is, oh, I couldn't do that because I can't give up my bread. I can't give up my potatoes or that's fine. Don't give it up. You don't have to. I'm not trying to convert anybody. I'm just trying to explain what I do if you're interested in hearing. So I totally get that. You don't want to give up your comfort foods, the foods that you love. And people don't really understand when I explain to them that I'm really fine with it. I don't care. I don't have any cravings. I don't think about food a lot anymore. I enjoy what I eat, but I'm not craving. And it's sort of like a smoker. If you've smoked like I did for most of your life, it was one cigarette to the next. Anywhere you went, anything you did, you were waiting to get out of there to finish things up so you could get out and have a cigarette. So when I quit smoking, it all went away. I mean, it took a little time, but it all went away. And it's been so many years now, I don't even know when I quit. I think it's been probably 20 years. And I could care less. I don't want a cigarette. I see somebody, I don't want a cigarette. And I think that my food addiction was like that. That I craved it all the time. I thought about it when I could have it, what was I gonna have, and it controlled me. It obsessed. I obsessed about it, and that all stopped. And that's the biggest reason why keto works for me. I can eat within my macros. I can figure out what I'm going to eat, what percentage of macros are working for me, and I can follow it because I'm not really craving. I'm not really thinking about when and how and what to eat. I just figure out what I need to eat and I eat it and I enjoy it and then I'm done and I carry on with whatever else I'm doing. And people don't really get that. They don't understand that for, I think, the most part, for most of us, if we do follow a low carb diet and keep our carbs under 20 or maybe 25 for some people, or net carbs versus carbs, roughly around 20. If you can do that, then I think that for most of us, your cravings go away. And if you don't crave something, if you don't really want it, it's not really a problem. So when someone tells me, oh, I can't give up potatoes, or I can't give up my bread, yeah, because right now you're craving it, you think about it, you want it. I get that. I was that person, but I'm not anymore. And I'm here to tell you that that feeling goes away. But when you try to explain it to people, they don't really get it. Just let them know what you're doing. You eat veggies, you eat healthy, you feel good. Leave it at that. Don't stress about trying to make them understand how it's working or why it's working. Focus on yourself. Feel good, follow the plan, and if people understand or don't understand, that's okay. They don't need to. They need to respect what you're doing, but they don't really need to understand it. And if they do want to hear about it, by all means, explain it. I've got a few friends that are trying it now through my recommendation, and they're all happy, and that's great. But if they hadn't wanted to, or if they didn't want to follow through on it, that's okay too. It's their choice. I'm just here to take care of myself, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So explaining keto can be a little rough, to get through to somebody, but you don't have to. Give them a few basics and let it go at that. So I just want to say I hope you're having a great week. I hope you're following your keto plan. If you have any questions, please ask. I'll try to help you out. And I'm glad you checked in this morning with me. Have a great day. Bye.